Well, good afternoon and welcome to Central Arkansas on the campus of Benton High School. We got the Centennial Bank 2022 2A state softball final between the Tuckerman Bulldogs and East Poinsett County Warriors. I'm JB Brazil. Alongside me, Eric King in this one. Eric got a really good one. Both teams are obviously on a winning streak. You make it to the state final, you've had to win quite a few games in a row. It's going to be a fun matchup.
That's exactly correct. And you got Tuckerman here, who's on a 16-game winning streak right now. And then you look at where they've been. I mean, they're no stranger to this ball game. So they were here last year. They won last year on a walk-off single. So it'll be an exciting game. But one thing you got to know is that this bunch from EPC is ready to play. They're eager to play. We got some experience on this side from being in here. EPC's not been here, and so this is going to be a matchup today.
Tuckerman, like you said, they won it last year in walk-off fashion against Mansfield 4-3. They're trying to repeat, win back-to-back state titles this afternoon. East Poinsett County, this is their first appearance in program history to the state final. They're trying to make history and win a big one today against Tuckerman. We're getting closer and closer to the first pitch, and while we got a moment, let's take a look at the starting lineups in the batting order for East Poinsett County. For the Warriors, leading it off will be Taryn Powell, Kelly Lucas, and Keegan McCorkle. That'll be the top third of the order. For the Warriors, 4, 5, and 6 holes, Natalie Dunman, J.C. Davis, Mercedes Reel. Batting 7th at 8th and 9th is Zoe Constant, Brendley Brewer, and Cameron Argo. And Keegan McCorkle will be on the mound for, or pardon me, in the circle for them. And boy, I tell you, 84 degrees.
It's nice. You got a little bit of wind, a little bit of breeze blowing. Hey, the stands are packed, and you know, you got one team that's eager to repeat, and you got one team that's eager to bring that first championship to the house.
Justin Hedspeth is the home plate umpire in this one. Gene Bozer will be calling it over on the first base side. Gordon Campbell will be the third base umpire in this one. And in the circle for Tuckerman in this one will be McKaylee Gist. She pitched last year in the state final. She throws from the left side, and she will face the top of the lineup for the Warriors and Taryn Powell. We're just about set for the first pitch. Gist gets the sign, and here we go. The first pitch of the softball 2A softball final is underway, and misses inside for ball 1.
Well, you go back and you look at this team. You've got Nicholson, who didn't get to play last year. She's a shortstop, and you know, she's one that they were missing. But man, what a stick she has! And also, there's a possibility we can see her on the in the circle as well.
As that ball's tapped foul to the right side, that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Guest on the year, she's 12-2. She's given up 21 runs. Only 14 of those runs have been earned. 38 hits, 27 walks, 88 strikeouts. She's got a good ERA as well at 1.4 as that one's popped up to the right side. First baseman over to make the catch for Tuckerman. That was Washam. And the first out here in the 2A state softball final is recorded.
Yeah, we were talking to EPC's coach, Coach Powell, before the ball game, and he mentioned, you know, one thing they're going to have to do, a key is to put the ball in play and to make his Tuckerman squad play defense. So, you know, again, they put it in play, but we're going to have to find some hits in that field.
As Kelly Lucas stands in to bat here. First pitch from Gist is a fastball that misses outside, or pardon me, hits the edge. They're on the edge. Hudspeth with a late call strike, and it's 0-1. And I like that. Takes his time, makes sure he makes the right call.
Be interesting to see if Gist will get into a rhythm here. Of course, she is definitely a player not only in the circle that they have to contend with, but hey, this squad 1 through 9 for Tuckerman can hit as well.
That was missed high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kelly Lucas on the year. She's got a home run, 15 RBI. She's hitting .412 here at the 2-hole for the Warriors. As we're just underway here in Benton, Arkansas. 1-1, chopped to the right side. Second baseman there, flip to first. Soden to Washam, and 2 are gone.
Again, they're doing exactly what they wanted to. They're making them play defense. Again, that's what they want to do, and maybe at some point in the ball game, we'll find some gaps for these hits to be falling in.
4-3 on the recorded put out there. 2 are gone, and Gist is an out away from working a 1-2-3 top of the first inning as Keegan McCorkle steps in, and the first one's up and in, ball 1. Now, McCorkle's a good one, Eric. She's had some really good numbers in the circle, but she's a good offensive player as well.
I mean, you got her. She's she's leading the team with 9 home runs this year, and I mean, right now she is batting .480. So again, she's not only the quarterback inside the circle, she's also one that helps his team offensively as well.
She got a big hack there, but came up empty, and that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike for McCorkle, the junior. Like you said, she's got 9 home runs, 40 RBIs, and a really good average. The 1-1 slice foul right side out of play. So Gist is ahead in the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and with a pitcher's count, got a lot of room to work with here.
Man, it looks like she's only missed twice in this inning so far, so she's kind of in the zone now. If we can just find a spot for Gist to find an open base to get on, she's quite the hitter, as you said.
1-2 pitch, taken low, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's a great pitch there from Gist. You got room to work, make it look good. Drops out of the zone. That was a great take by McCorkle.
And she was pretty active too. You know, she's 2-strike hitter, so she's trying to put the ball in play.
Gist gets the sign. 2-2. Fouled back, and McCorkle, veteran hitter, battling at the plate. As we said earlier, she's really good inside the circle as well for this Warrior softball team.
Being a junior again, she's kind of what we would call the quarterback on this squad.
With a 2-2 count, Gist delivers again. That one's up and in. McCorkle had to dodge out of the way, and we run a full count.
It's a good at bat from McCorkle.
It certainly is. As Gist, again, we said she pitched last year in the state finals in a game in which Tuckerman won it on a walk-off by Soden, the second baseman. Payoff pitch, popped up right side, foul ball, and it'll land foul. First baseman Washam gave chase, but just couldn't quite make the catch.
You talk about Soden with a walk-off. She actually came in in the 7th of that game and shut them down 1-2-3 Mansfield. So she was the 7th. She was the 7th inning hero for him for sure.
3 balls, 2 strikes again. This has been quite the count. Gist trying to win the battle, but so is McCorkle. Payoff, fouled again right side, and we'll do it again.
What about she's not turned on anything yet. She's not got her hands through on any of them. She's actually putting the ball in play. Everything's been to the right side, so looks like they're keeping a little bit on the outside of the plate as well.
You're exactly right. McKaylee Gist has pitched outside half, hasn't had anything hit to the left side. That one's tapped at the plate behind home. Catcher Smith retrieves it, but it's a foul ball again, and we've got a little battle going on here at pitcher and batter.
Oh, and also pitcher and pitcher. So
very well played, yeah. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The infield playing back at normal depth all the way around. That one sliced foul again, and boy, you know, you look at it, both teams, obviously the nerves are there. It's early. Tuckerman's been here before. We talked about that. This is the first ever appearance by East Poinsett County in program history. Obviously they have nerves as well, but here early, both teams giving everything they got.
Again, you know, they're battling at the plate because she knows she's trying to help her calls right here.
Another payoff. Fouled off, right side again, deja vu.
She's definitely battling. You know, you talk about EPC here a little bit. They're 32-2 in the season, where they're only lost to Valley View, who is here this weekend, and in Rector in conference.
Another payoff. Chopped left side this time. Shortstop Nicholson. Throw to first. On time, on the money. 1, 2, 3. Goes EPC in the top half of the first. We're scoreless. Bottom first coming up. We'll be right back.
Can you see her greatness? When you attend her games, when you cheer her on, or when you participate in any way, you support your community and make it better, and you will see her greatness. Join us as we pledge to increase the visibility of women's sports in our communities. It makes a difference when we all are involved. At Everett Buick GMC, we proudly support our local female athletes and encourage you to do the same. See her greatness.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
It's been the best thing that has ever happened to me.
So join me as we journey through America's forests.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. Join me dazzled by Neo-Byzantine art and dine well on local cuisine. Ride the highest lift in all of Europe.
I'm Samantha Brown, and I'm always looking to find the destinations, the experiences, and most importantly, the people.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Welcome back to Benton, Arkansas. Bottom of the first, as East Poinsett County went 1-2-3 against the left-hander McKaylee Gist. And now Tuckerman seeking back-to-back state titles. We'll get a chance to try to knock something on the board.
Well, they definitely are. But again, you know, like EPC's coach mentioned, they need to put the ball in play, and that's exactly what they did. No strikeouts there for Gist in that inning. It'd be interesting to see junior Keegan McCorkle here on in the circle for EPC, and it's just going to be a barn burner. And don't be surprised if this doesn't come down to the last inning again. McCorkle's
pitched in all 34 games that the Warriors have played in. She's 32-2. She's given up 89 hits, 33 runs, 14 of those earned, 38 walks, but get this, 323 strikeouts as the first pitch is bunted foul to the left side by Shanley Williams, the center fielder for the Bulldogs.
Well, and Williams is a senior here for Tuckerman, so and she's batting .489, so we know that she knows all about first base, and so it'll be exciting to see this Tuckerman team because Coach Dillon said that 1 through 9 they've been very impressive offensively.
That one missed up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. As the left-handed hitting Williams trying to get things started offensively for the Bulldogs. 1-1. Swung and a miss. Thought it might have been foul tipped. Came up empty. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And McCorkle, what you want to do, get ahead early in the count. She's done that here thus far. The first batter, 1 ball, 2 strikes as she works quickly. The 1-2 called strike 3. McCorkle starts off her afternoon in the circle with a strikeout and a backwards K at that.
2 things that does. That gives McCorkle a little bit of juice to work off of right there, and it pumps him up, and it pumps that defense up too as well.
Here's last year's hero, Mackenzie Soden. She walked it off in a 4-3 win a year ago against Mansfield. She takes the first pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Now Tuckerman's first batter strikes out looking. That's Williams. 1-0 count from McCorkle, down and away, 2-0. So now you got a hitter's count if you're Soden. Looking to start things off. Soden on the year, she's hitting .410. She's got a home run, 38 RBIs. 2-0 pitch. Popped up foul left side over the third base dugout. And out of play, 2-1 the count.
Soden being the second baseman, and again, you talk about timely hits. This is no pressure for her because last year she gets up and attend the ball game.
The 2-1 misses up and in, 3-1. So after McCorkle struck out the first batter looking, falling behind Soden, 3 balls and 1 strike. So a hitter's count once more. Soden waits, fouled straight back. So now we'll have a full count. McCorkle grounded out 6-3 to end the top of the first inning on a payoff pitch. She saw a lot of pitches. She'll have a payoff to Soden. Did she get the outer edge? Nope, outside, ball 4. And we have our first base runner.
The way Blue kind of went to the left there, I thought he was fixing to ring her up. But again, the first base runner, be exciting when you look at this lineup for Tuckerman, JB. They are some serious sticks, and they hit the ball, they put the ball in play, and like Coach said before the ball game, 1 through 9 has been very active at the plate this year.
Speaking of 1 through 9, we look at the lineup, the starting 9 for Tuckerman: Shanley Williams, Mackenzie Soden, Gracie Smith. The top third of the order: Hannah Nicholson, McKaylee Gist, Reagan Washam. Middle third: Audrey Altum, Lizzie Walker, and Ainsley Dawson. Bottom third of the order. It's 3-hole hitter Gracie Smith, though, ahead in the count, 1-0. 1-0 pitch. Called strike to even things up, 1-1. As Soden is over at first base. The inning began with a backwards K to Shanley Williams. Soden with a walk on a payoff pitch, and it's 1-1 now to the 3-hole hitter as that one misses downstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Smith's 107 for Tuckerman, that's batting in the 400 area. So again, these guys are pretty active offensively.
2-1, yanked down the left field line, carrying well but foul as it one-hops the wall in the corner there to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Maybe she got her hands through on that one, and she rolled them over, and Boy, I tell you what, she wasn't too far away from moving a base runner around.
2 balls, 2 strikes. McCorkle would love a double play ball, but they're playing at normal depth infield. 2-2, that one's yanked to left. That's going to be fair. It's over the left fielder's head, and it caroms off the wall. Rounding second, heading for third, Soden. She's in. Smith's got a double, and Tuckerman got 2 runners in scoring position here early.
I'll tell you what, that was a good job by left fielder Cameron Argo to get the ball in, because usually in a softball situation like that, one rows the fence, you're going to get a runner in. So great job by them to get the ball in, and she was just kind of dead red sitting on that ball, and we saw from the one that she took foul right before that, I think she knew that was coming through.
As Julie Glasgow comes in to run for Smith over at second base. The infield meets with McCorkle at the circle. They're done now, obviously, but McCorkle here got herself in a little bit of a jam with 1 out. She struck out Williams to begin the bottom of the first, but a walk, and then that double right there by Smith. As 2 runners are aboard for the cleanup hitter. The first pitch popped over the second baseman's head. That's going to allow a run to score. In from third is Soden, and we have our first run here of the 2A state title game. 1-0, Tuckerman's out.
Yeah, you're going to like that shortstop. Nicholson, she puts the ball in play there, just kind of a little Texas leaguer over the second baseman's head, and she was the one that had the torn ACL and didn't get to play last year, but she has already been awarded All-State this year, so I know Coach is glad to have her back.
As McKaylee Gist steps into the batter's box, she's got an opportunity to help herself out there in the circle. She's the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs, who are up here early 1-0. As that one's waved at and missed, to even the count at a ball and a strike.
Again, this is pitcher to pitcher, so we'll see if Guess hangs in here like McCorkle did at bat.
McCorkle ready, 1-1. Up and away. Hitters count again, and that's kind of been the problem here after the first strikeout. McCorkle falling behind some hitters, and it's turned into a run for the Bulldogs. 2-1, upstairs, missing high. Now it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Well, if you're McCorkle, you're going to have to be careful. To Gist, who has 3 home runs on the year, 32 RBIs. The 3-1 misses outside, and now the bases are full of Bulldogs.
Yeah, and she was very careful. She wasn't going to give up a big pitch there, but again, this team is so impressive. You've got Washamit's coming in right now, and hey, she's batting .438. So where does it end, JB?
As Faith McCullough will come in to run over at first base for Gist. Like you said, Washam coming to bat. I mean, goodness, really good hitter. .438, a home run, 21 RBIs, and right here with 1 out, if you're EPC, you really need a double play ball. First pitch is a called strike, 0-1. So good way to get ahead there if you're McCorkle. No balls, 1 strike.
Infield playing in a little bit here, maybe to get the runner from third at home.
The 0-1 misses down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like McCorkle's going to keep this in on her hands and hopefully get a ground ball.
EPC would love a double play ball of any kind. 1-1. Waved at and missed. Good pitch there from McCorkle to get ahead of ball, 2 strikes. You know, here's the deal. EPC only averaged giving up 1 run per contest this whole year. Trying to keep it that way. The 1-2 from McCorkle's high. Now it's 2-2.
You know, I like the 2 pitches that she got the strikes on. She kept them inside on her hands, not giving her anything that looks big on the outside of the plate.
Chopper to third. Going home with it, Davis. They got the out. That was a big out right there for the Warriors. Davis to Brewer. 5-2 on the retire of Washam. And McCorkle is 1 out away from getting out of this after she gave up a run here early in this inning.
Great job by J.C. Davis there, the third baseman, of keeping the ball in front of her, getting a hand on it, and making a good throw to the catcher to get that second out, which, like you said, very important out for him at that time.
1 ball, no strikes. Alton waits. Popped up foul right side. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Lizzie Walker waits on deck. She's the designated player. As we look at Altum's numbers, she does not have a home run on the year, but she's got 22 RBIs, 2 doubles, as that one's popped up foul. Now it's 1-2.
She's batting .364, so on base percentage at .424. So
this Bulldog team is loaded with some offense. 1-2, fastball. A little bit high, and evens the count at 2-2.
Everybody's going to be running, and you know that defense just wants to keep the ball in front of them and not let anything behind them.
The 2-2 is low. So now the counts run full, and there is no place to put Audrey Altum. If you're McCorkle, got to make a quality pitch. The runners will be ready to roll here. The payoff pitch popped up, foul, back to the right side out of play, and we will do it again. It seems like we've seen quite a few 3-2 pitches today.
Yeah, and a lot of foul balls as well. I tell you what, one thing about McCorkle, she's keeping everything inside on the hand, so maybe that pays off for her right here.
Payoff pitch once more to Altum. Popped up right field. Right fielder Dunman going down the line. Is it fair? It's foul. It was close.
It held up there for a little while, and I thought that might hit the line, but good job. And you know McCorkle wishes she could have got an out of that one.
Boy, that was a few feet from being a big extra base hit down the line, but for McCorkle, got a big foul. 3-2, that one popped up center field. Reel going back in the gap, coming in, makes the catch. A huge catch for the Warriors when they needed it, and McCorkle is out of the inning with limited damage, only giving up a run on 2 base hits. We head to the top of the second. Tuckerman's up 1-0 on EPC. We'll be right back. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Since 1976, McCormick Equipment Rental and Sales has been equipping Arkansans for the tough jobs, construction equipment and rentals, service and sales, and a proud underwriter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Celebrate game day under the arches. Access to tons of benefits through our rewards program are available today on the McDonald's app. We're loving it.
As we head to the top of the second inning, Michaela Gist out for her second inning of work. With her Bulldogs up 1-0. She worked a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first inning. And she will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Dunman, chopper to the shortstop, Nicholson. Up with it on a throw to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. And Gist is cruising along. First 4 batters that she has faced, she has retired. And the leadoff batter's gone in the top of the second.
Well, you know, we talked a little bit about the keys to the game, and we talked to that with Coach Powell before this, and he did talk about it, like I said earlier, about putting the ball in play, making them play a little defense, and right now they're doing it. They're just not having anything fall for them.
As J.C. Davis stands in to bat from the right side against Gist, and the first one is a called strike on the outer half. 0-1 with a fastball there from Gist.
You know, holding that team to only 1 run as good offensively as Tuckerman is, that has to be a plus for EPC as they got in the dugout.
0-1, same pitch, same result. And now Davis is down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. You know, we heard from, you know, EPC's head coach a little bit earlier today. He talked about defense and pitching is what's kept them in those tight games. We saw some big defense there in the bottom of the first. They're looking to try to get some offense going as they're down early 1-0.
And you look at this offense, and they're not real bad. I mean, you look at Dunham, she's right now batting .456. McCorkle, again, like we talked about, batting .480. So we have several .392 and .397. So a great squad on the offensive side. They just need to let something make something happen. Sorry about that.
As that one's popped up, right side, foul ground. First baseman Washam's there, and she makes the catch for the second out. here in the top of the second inning. 2 are gone. It'll be all up to Mercedes Real if EPC can score here in the top of the second.
Mercedes saved them a while ago with a nice catch out in center field, keeping those runners at bay.
And that was not an easy catch either. Tailing away from her towards the right center field gap. She came on, made a great catch as that one's waved at and missed. And it's no balls and a strike. And I'll tell you, Gist has done a good job. She got Dunman to ground out to begin this inning on 1 pitch. She got Davis to pop up on a no ball 2 strike count. And she gets ahead of Real here, no balls and 1 strike. The lefty Gist delivers again. Fastball down the middle, around the knees, and Real is in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Gist she's dialed in right now.
She sure is, and you know, with Real batting .392 with 2 homers through the year, it'd be a great time for number 3 to happen.
Gist trying to get out of the inning. 0-2's tapped foul at the plate, and so Real will live to see another pitch. I tell you, that was a rising fastball. Tough to get a piece of it. Real did a really good job, no pun intended, able to battle and stay alive.
She did an excellent job of just putting that play. You know, and again, we've talked about this earlier. There's been a lot of foul balls. These girls are up there battling at the plate, and both pitchers are just dialed in and throwing strikes right now.
Gist is ready again. 0-2. That's a called strike 3 up around the letters. Wow, great pitch there to end the inning. And Gist, once again, another 1-2-3 inning. We played an inning and a half here in Benton. The Bulldogs lead it 1-0. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
We never gonna stop. We never gonna stop.
Did you know fans can see the live game stats before we do? Download the Arkansas PBS Engage app to get all the numbers during the live game.
As we head here to the bottom of the second inning, Keegan McCorkle out for her second inning of work. After she gave up a run an inning ago, she really escaped some trouble. She starts off here with the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Lizzie Walker, Ansley Dawson. And then we would head back to the top of the order, and Shanley Williams is the 1-0. This is a little bit now, it's 2-0. 2-0 to Walker, the designated player, and that one's waved at a miss. Good pitch there from McCorkle, and it's 2-1. Still a hitter's count, though. You look here at Walker, she's hitting .302 on the year, Eric. No home runs, but 12 RBIs. Both of these teams have a lot of offense.
You gotta like it right now. Both pitchers, again, they're in a zone. And these batters on both sides are swinging the bat. So
we got hopefully a pitcher's duel early. Is the 2-2. Misses up and away. A good take. Pardon me, the count is full now. The thing about these Bulldog hitters, they know how to work the count. Payoff pitch, loop towards left center field. That could be trouble. Left fielder's over, can't make the catch. It's off her glove. Walker heads to second, and she's in with a stand-up double.
I'll tell you what, you got to love to get the leadoff batter on if you're Tuckerman, and she found that gap out there. Got a glove on it, but just couldn't bring it in. That wind is carrying everything right now.
Boy, it is. It's blowing from the right side to the left side, so from right field to left field corner. As the leadoff double for the Bulldogs, they've got a runner in scoring position in back-to-back innings as that one misses up and in. 1 ball, no strikes to Dawson. Dawson on the year, she's hitting .426 in the 9-hole today. Goodness gracious.
You don't see many 9-hole batters batting .426 right now. And again, like Coach said, 1 through 9 right now are just outstanding at the plate.
As that one's hit to the right side, second baseman can't get there. That's Lucas. It's into right field. The ball was hit sharply, though, and Reel, the center fielder, got to it quickly, so that holds up Walker over at third base. But there's runners at the corners for the Bulldogs. They're already up 1-0, and they're trying to add to it, Eric.
Well, they are, and they're back at the top of the lineup for Tuckerman, and the senior center fielder Williams is up to bat for the second time tonight. So it'll be interesting to see if they found their zone and, you know, one time around. So you know what they say about that second time around, to see if this Tuckerman squad has got McCorkle's number.
Well, as like you said, we head back to the top of the order now. It's Shanley Williams, the center fielder. She struck out looking her first time up, but looking to have a good approach here in this one. First pitch, squaring to bunt, and takes a strike on the outer half. That's a great pitch from McCorkle. You mentioned a little bit earlier, she is not afraid to attack the zone with runners aboard or really any count. She's done a really good job.
He's going to go at the batter for sure.
That one misses upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Walker led off this bottom of the second with a double to left field just past the left fielder Argo, and then a single by Dawson. As that one's grounded foul left side past the third base bag, and now it's a 1 ball 2 strike count.
You know, McCorkle's getting recruited by Northwestern out of Mississippi, and that's where her old teammate Megan Allen is right now, that played for EPC. So it'd be interesting to see her battle through the rest of this ball game.
1-2 popped up, foul left side out of play. And speaking of Megan Allen, she holds the state record for most strikeouts in a single season.
It's kind of hard to believe this is their first trip here with a pitcher of that caliber in 2020.
1-2 pitch. Fastball high, evens the count, 2-2. And Tuckerman has worked the count a lot. McCorkle's not been afraid to attack the zone, but thrown a lot of pitches. 2-2. That one's low, and another full count.
She's no stranger to pitching in some tough situations, because she's went the distance for them this year.
Chopper left side, shortstop. Powell is able to get there, but she doesn't have a play anywhere. That's an infield single for Williams, and Tuckerman adds to the 1-0 lead with a run there, and it's 2-0.
Great job by Powell of getting over there and getting the ball before it got into the grass, as you would say. But she just didn't have a chance to turn around and get an out.
And now here's Mackenzie Soden. Soden a year ago walked it off against Mansfield in the bottom of the 7th with a 3-3 score. The 1-0 pitch, line down the left field, foul. Evens the count at 1-1. Soden worked to walk her first time up on a 3-2 count. By the way, Tuckerman has worked 4 full counts today against McCorkle. With the 1-1 pitch to Soden. Swinging a drive, left center field. Argo's over, though. Calls off the center fielder Reel and makes the catch for the first out of the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Great job by Argo of calling Reel off and getting the catch and getting it in pretty quick to keep that runner there on second base for Tuckerman.
So it brings in the 3-hole hitter now, Gracie Smith. She doubled back in the 1st inning and takes that one low for a ball. 1-0 to Gracie Smith, the catcher. She set up, allowing Nicholson to drive in a run an inning ago. As that one's fouled off her foot, got a big hack there, but it's off her leg foul, and that evens the count at 1-1.
You know, Coach Powell would like to get out of this with just 1 run as well as he did the 1st inning.
McCorkle with a 1-1. That was a great off speed, but a really great take there from Soden, or pardon me, from Smith. And
great job by Smith at just standing there. And
2-1. Chopped left side foul outside the third base bag, and now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
1 out, you know they want to get an out somewhere at some place, and right now ground ball, just step on a bag.
2-2 pitch. That one's ripped foul past third. Boy, she loaded early there, did Smith, and ripped it foul past third.
Don't be surprised if we don't see another off speed after that one.
Well, McCorkle's a good pitcher. She has now 324 strikeouts on the year. She needed 8 coming into this to move into 5th all-time in state record history.
As a junior.
That's right. So she'll be here next year. 2-2. You called it off-speed pitch. But boy, outside a little bit. Smith with a great tag and the 5th full count that we've seen to a Tuckerman batter.
What you talking about patient now? These guys, they.
That one's chopped, third base side. Nice play by Davis. She beats the runner to third base. That's a big out as well. 2 are gone now.
Hey, that was close. I think the third baseman thought she had more time than she did, but the one standing on second had some wheels there for Tuckerman.
5 unassisted on the out there. 2 are gone, and it brings in the cleanup hitter, Nicholson, who drove in the first run of this game. As we looked at that replay, boy, that was really close.
Well, it was. I mean, it was a nail biter there getting back to the bag.
So Nicholson, the cleanup hitter, stands in with the runners at first and second base against McCorkle. As that one misses upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Nicholson singled in the game's first run back in the bottom of the first. Here in her second at bat here in the bottom of the second. McCorkle 1-0, chopped to short. This could end the inning. Bobbled by the shortstop. Gonna have to hurry. Did they get her? No at first. And just like that, Tuckerman's got the bases loaded with 2 gone. We'll see how they score it. Probably going to be an error on the shortstop.
Well, as good as this Tuckerman team is offensively, you know, Coach would love to have those easy ones back, and he talked about that. They got to make the easy outs, and that's one they'd like to have back.
So now McKaylee Gist, the pitcher, with the bases loaded, stands in and takes the first pitch for a called strike. Gist walked her first time up on a 3-1 count. With the bases loaded here, there's no place to put her, so McCorkle gonna have to be careful. 0-1, misses down and away. Evens the count at 1-1.
Good job by the catcher of not letting that get behind her.
The left-handed hitter Gist waits. McCorkle gets the sign, 1-1. That one's driven down the left field line. Left fielder Argo coming over and in foul ground makes the catch and ends the inning. McCorkle only gives up another run on 3 base hits. We've played 2 full here in Benton. We head to the top of the third. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
April 1942. Even if they somehow get to the relative safety of China, no one knows they are coming.
It can be transmitted human to human by a mere cough.
They've started putting a wall up around Chinatown.
Plague at the Golden Gate. Is lead artist of Disney's Bambi and many Warner Brothers hits.
Wild bunch.
To his ceramics, greeting cards, and kite building when Tyrus comes to American Master.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
For more than 50 years, Arkansas PBS has been a trusted resource. Our high-quality programs are seen by viewers in every corner of our state, making on-air sponsorship a solid investment. Aligning your business with Arkansas PBS offers a powerful blend of community engagement, corporate philanthropy, and cause marketing. And our viewers remember and appreciate businesses that support our programs. Contact us today for more information on sponsorship opportunities.
Get your live action photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos. Grab a free download, have prints made. These are great championship keepsakes.
As we welcome you back here, top of the third here in Benton, Arkansas. Tuckerman's up 2-0 over EPC, and McKaylee Gish is absolutely delivering right now. She's retired all 6 batters that she's faced, and she will face the 7, 8, 9 hitters with Constant, Brinley Brewer, and Cameron Argo as that one's chopped up in the middle to the shortstop. Nicholson, high throw. First baseman Washam keeps her foot on the bag, and the leadoff batter is retired once again here in the top of the third inning.
You know, Gitz has got 1 strikeout in the game so far, so again, they're putting the ball in play. They're just not they've not found a gap yet.
So Brinley Brewer will step in to bat now. Brewer on the year hitting .280. No home runs, 17 RBIs. Waits and bats from the right side, and the first pitch is taken for a called strike, 0-1. I tell you, Gist is just, she's looked really good. She's played really well. 0-1 pitch, Brewer. Is another strike, outer half, 0-2, and now Brewer's going to have to protect the plate.
Well, she's 12-2 this year. Again, she's at 88 strikeouts, so very impressive season for Gist.
The 0-2 pitch, trying to protect, swing and a miss. Gist gets a second strikeout of the day. Brewer waves and misses, and 2 are gone in the top of the 3rd inning. She is absolutely dealing right now.
I tell you what, that's number 90 for the year for her, and she's no stranger to that plate up there.
As the 9-hole hitter, Cameron Argo stands in to bat now from the right side against Gist. First pitch, squaring as if to bunt, pulls it back and takes it up and away.
But there's something we hadn't seen. The short game's not really came into play in softball, and usually they come out of the chute with a slap or a bunt.
The third baseman, Dawson, and Washam, the first baseman, playing in. They're trying to guard the bunt. The 1-0 pitch to Argo. Tried to bunt at that one. Missed it. Now the count's even at 1-1. The outfield's playing, swung around a little bit to the right. Center fielder Williamson playing closer to right center a little bit. But if you're Argo, just looking to get on base, the 1-1 takes strike 2 as she pulled the bat back. Now she's in the hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know what, she's bound and determined to get that ball down. I don't know if guess might throw a rise ball right here.
1-2. A little bit outside, evens the count at 2-2. That's just the second count today that EPC has worked to at least 2 balls. Everything else has been less than 2 balls. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Gist with a big strikeout, and she's retired all 9 batters that she has faced. 1, 2, 3. Go EPC in the top of the 3rd inning. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, 2-0. Tuckerman leads it, trying to add to it. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Every year, we recognize outstanding Arkansas student-athletes who have made a mark in the classroom as well as on the field. In the 2A division, we are spotlighting Natalie Brightwell. Natalie Brightwell from Melbourne High School. She's a pitcher senior, a 3.7 GPA, and she will be attending Crowley's Ridge College on a softball scholarship as we head here to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to count to the 6-hole hitter Washam, the first baseman for the Bulldogs, as that one sails high. 2 balls and 1 strike. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Bulldogs. Washam, Altum, and Walker. Dawson bats if anybody reaches. Hitters count, 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. That was a big rip there from Washam, but she came up empty, and that evens the count at 2-2. McCorkle delivers. That one's ripped right back through the box. And a leadoff single for the Bulldogs.
Well, Washam hit that right where it came from. She was standing on that one, and she nailed that pitch.
As it brings in Altum to bat. Altum flew out to center field her first time up, and that was with runners aboard to end that Big threat as that was a called strike, 0-1. Tuckerman's up 2-0 on a 16-game winning streak, trying to make it 17 to end the season and claim back-to-back state titles. EPC's on 11-game winning streak. This is their first finals appearance in program history. They got some work to do though, pardon me, as they're trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the third inning with a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Andre Altum, the right fielder for the Bulldogs.
Oracle's trying to get her to chase one there.
2-1, chopped back up the middle. Shortstop can't quite make the play. That's Powell. It's into center field. We'll see how they score it. Probably a base hit. Indeed it is. Back-to-back singles for the Bulldogs, and for the third straight inning, Eric, they've got runners at scoring position again.
That's exactly correct. And if you go back and you look, I guarantee you that the leadoff hitter for EPC, Powell, the shortstop there, would love to have that one back, because it looks like all she had to do was grab the pitch and step on the plate, step on the bag.
First pitch here, fouled straight back up into the screen there from Walker. Lizzie Walker, the designated player. Walker on the year hitting .302 with no home runs and 12 RBIs. Got 10 singles and 3 doubles. A single here would add most likely a run, as that one's fouled back here over the screen, and it's 0-2.
What she seems to get into her zone when she gets people on base, because as we saw in the last 2 innings, I mean, they've had bases loaded, now they got 2 on, and she just turns into a different pitcher.
Trying to strike out the batter here. That one's popped up foul over the third base, pardon me, on the third base dugout. But to your point, you're exactly right. She has really come on strong when she's been in some jams or with runners aboard. Trying to strike out here, the 0-2. Down and away, a good take there from Walker. But she'll still have to protect, batting from the left side. 1-2, line, up the middle, into center. Will they wave home the runner? They'll hold her at third. Washam stays put there. Back-to-back singles, and boy, the Bulldogs have something brewing again.
Again, you know, here in the bottom of the third, they got bases loaded, so it'd be interesting to see what they do here with no outs.
Or if you remember Dawson, the 9-hole hitter, she's got a really good average, hitting .426. No home runs, 14 RBIs, but she'd love to make it 15 here. She takes a strike on the outer half.
Great pitch right there by McCorkle, getting it on the outside. You know, she'd love to have another ground ball. While ago, the third baseman helped her out with one towards home plate, and got the second out there at the plate, so maybe we can repeat that.
No balls and 2 strikes. The bases are loaded, mind you, with nobody out. And Tuckerman's up 2-0 with 8 base hits. The 0-2 misses low, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Anything in the infield here, right here, JB, is what they want. They definitely will keep the ball in front of them.
1-2 pitch is an off speed. Just a little bit low. And I'm going to tell you, we've mentioned this, Tuckerman's got a really good approach at the plate. They've taken some really tough pitches that shows a lot of discipline. McCorkle with a 2-2. That one's ripped through the 6-hole into left field. It'll just be 1 run coming into scores. That's Washam who touches the plate. Tuckerman's up 3-0. After 4 straight singles.
We talked about it early. This Tuckerman team is pretty stout from the plate. 1 through 9, we said it all game, and right now they're all clicking on the same cylinders.
As Shanley Williams stands into bat, takes the first pitch down and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Williams hitting .489 on the year. That was before her single in her last at bat. She also drove in a run her last at bat. Has 1 RBI today. Got a 2-0 count. And McCorkle, with the bases loaded, has no place to put Williams.
And it'd be interesting talking to Coach Powell before the game. McCorkle's the only one that they've had throw this year. So
that one's driven on the ground past the shortstop. That one gets under the glove of Reel. That's going to allow another run to score. 2 come in for the Bulldogs, Altum and Walker, and it is 5-0 Tuckerman.
And this offense of Tuckerman is definitely showed up today, and as we can tell, Coach Powell's headed out to the circle to visit with McCorkle.
So only 1 RBI given there to Williams after the error by the center fielder allowed that second runner to come in to score.
You know, we've talked a lot about this Tuckerman offense, but that defense out there with Giss in the circle, it's not saying it can't be done, but it's a hard deficit to come back from when it's 5-0 against a pitcher like Giss.
Well, that 5-0 lead feels like 15-0, and you know, you look at it the way that Tuckerman's been playing. McCorkle's just kind of flirted with trouble a little bit. Tuckerman has just hit the ball well, and McCorkle really hadn't walked a lot of batters. She's removed the plate, but Tuckerman's done a really good job of putting the bat on the ball. As here comes in Mackenzie Soden, who's 1 for 1 today with a walk and a single. And takes the first pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Soden hitting in the 2-hole, playing second base for Tuckerman.
That's from the left side, has 1 home run on the year and 38 RBIs. Drills that one to center, but a great catch there in center field by Mercedes Real, diving in. That was quite impressive.
That was very impressive. And again, she caught one in the first inning that the wind was kind of pushing a little bit. So 2 great catches to save a run for Mercedes Real today.
And that ball was absolutely smoked off the bat of Soden. That is a very difficult catch, and Real made it look easy as the first pitch to the 3-hole hitter Gracie Smith is in for a called strike.
Gets it for out 1 and gets the ball in quick to keep those runners at bay.
1-1 the count now. Smith's 1 for 2 today. She's doubled. She's also grounded out to third base unassisted. 1-1 count with 1 out. McCorkle delivers. That one's hit a mile high into left field, foul ground. Shortstop coming over. And a great catch there by the shortstop. She did catch it. We don't have a great vantage point past the third base dugout, but wow, look at Powell covering a lot of ground right there. That's 2 really good defensive plays here by this Warrior defense.
Absolutely, that's a great job by Powell there. And again, you know, he still got runners at first and second with 2 outs. We always say this could be worse than what it really is, and right now McCorkle's glad that she got that defense behind her.
As Hannah Nicholson stands in to bat now, the cleanup hitter. Playing short today, she's made quite a few putouts over to shortstop's position, 3 of them to be exact. She's 1 for 2 with a single and also reached on an error. The 1-0 waved and it missed to even the count. Her single back in the first inning was an RBI single, and it put Tuckerman on the board.
And you got to love it too, because she's the one that was out with a torn ACL last year, and you know, she's excited to be able to play in this game this year.
As that one misses down and away, 2-1.
And we talk about her skills at short. She's also pitched 61 innings for Tuckerman. She's got a record of 10-1, so she's pretty impressive in the circle as well.
Hitters count 2-1. She's up and in as time is called by the home plate umpire. Oh, they're going to call it foul ball, pardon me. Came in a hitter on the handle. And that evens the count at 2-2. That one's chopped left side, shortstop Powell gonna have to hurry, throw to third in time, and EPC gets out of the inning. But now before Tuckerman adds 3 more, they're up 5-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports. We'll be right back.
There's well over 2,000 Arkansas rice farms. 96% of them are family owned and operated.
It's all about building community.
The results we've been seeing have been very promising.
I grew up watching the farm, knowing every detail about it.
If you take care of the soil will take care of you.
It helps us to give back to the land and make sure that it's going to be there for future generations.
Every community has a story to tell, and if somebody will tell it, it'll be interesting.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Arkansas PBS provides election coverage you can trust. Tune in for live primary results And analysis Tuesday, May 24th, beginning at 7 p.m.
As we welcome you back here inside of the campus of Benton High School.
And JB, what a facility here. I mean,
it's gorgeous.
I mean, you got, baseball's right behind us. You just kind of walk down the breezeway, and then, soccer's going to kick up, and they're just kind of right here to our left. But everything's kind of huddled in one area, which is it's a great facility.
It certainly is. It is made for a great state championship atmosphere. As the first pitch to the top of the lineup, Taryn Powell. This is inside for ball one. It'll be the top of the order for the Warriors. Taryn Powell, Kelly Lucas, and Keegan McCorkle. The cleanup hitter, Natalie Dunman, bats if anybody can reach, as Gist has retired all 9 batters that she's faced, and she's got a 1-1 count to Taryn Powell right now.
With the second time around here, Coach Powell would love to see these players get a hit or two to get a runner on base in position for East EPC.
That one's bunted out. Third baseman charging. A great throw, but not in time. How about the hustle from Taryn Powell? And that gives the Warriors their first base hit of the game as they trail 5-0. That's a great start.
Well, I tell you what, an outstanding start there. And again, she's done a great job for them there at shortstop. And she comes out on the offensive side, puts it down, and it's got EPC's first base runner of the evening.
Dawson charging in with a great throw, did all she could, but the leadoff single for Powell, and the Warriors needed it. 2-0 hitter, bunts it to the right side. Pitcher Gist bobbles it, can't make the play, and that will allow back-to-back base runners to reach. And EPC not only has their first base runner and first hit of the game, but they've got their first base runner in scoring position as well.
You got no outs on the board. EPC's put down 2 bunts. It's really going to kind of be interesting to see how they play this. The first 2 batters bunt, and then McCorkle, who we know is the big stick, is coming up right here for EPC to hopefully put one of these runners in.
So back-to-back singles as McCorkle got a chance to help herself out. First pitch, strike on the outer half, 0-1. Boy, this is an exciting game. Tuckerman, really, it's kind of been all Bulldogs here early, but a little bit of noise being made here by EPC.
They got to love to have these base runners with no outs.
McCorkle waits. 0-1, swung on, driven to right field. Right fielder Altum's there, makes the catch. The runner at second tags, moves to third. The throw is late, and on the throw to third base, moving up into second base is Kelly Lucas. So Taryn Powell's at third now, and Kelly Lucas at second.
I tell you what, Altum made a great catch out there, and I tell you what an arm. She was just a step away from having her there at third base.
That ball just jumped off the AstroTurf there and made it close, but now, after that big fly ball, that was a pretty productive out there for McCorkle. As Natalie Dunman stands in. First pitch, down and away.
Dunman has 5 home runs for this year, so right now with runners in scoring position, you really know this is who Coach Powell wants up with a shot with McCorkle had, and then you got you have Dunman now at the plate.
1-0, chopped up the middle. Shortstop Nicholson throws to first and retires Dunman, but a run comes in to score. That's the first run for EPC, the RBI there from Dunman. And that cuts the deficit to 4 now for the 5-hole hitter, J.C. Davis.
Oh, great job by Nicholson there, just keeping the ball in front of her, making a good throw. That's one thing about when you put the ball in play, you've got to catch it, you've got to make a good throw, and then where you're throwing it, they have to catch it as well. So a great job by that Tuckerman defense to only allow 1 run.
That was the 50th RBI of the year for Natalie Dunman. She leads their team as we're in the top of the 4th inning. 1 run, 2 base hits thus far in the inning. It's the first run and first 2 hits of the game for the Warriors as Michaela Gist began this game, retiring all 9 batters that she's faced. But the second time through the order, as you alluded to earlier, EPC was able to make some noise as the bunt there misses, and it's 0-2 down to Davis.
Davis, she was looking to put another one down. Now, that would have been impressive. The 3 batters they've had on base laid down bunts, and that would have been pretty exciting for this EPC squad.
But Davis going to try to protect the plate now. Gist peers in and delivers. Up and in with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tuckerman's got 5 runs this afternoon on 10 base hits. They have no errors. 1 run, 2 hits for EPC, and 2 errors. A couple of those have been costly, those 2 errors.
Probably contribute 2 runs to those.
The 1-2 pitch. Davis pops it up right side. That could be trouble. Second baseman over in foul ground. And a nice catch there by Soden to retire the side. But EPC, they're on the board.
Well, they're on the board, and that's correct. And that's a good thing going into this bottom of the 4th.
5-1. We head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Anticipation is building in the matchups that will decide what Arkansas's local and state political and judicial scene will look like. So join us as the votes come in on Election 2022. Statewide primary coverage on Tuesday, May 24th, beginning at 7 p.m. It's analysis and insight on the races you care about.
You know, I think sports are really big to a lot of people, and because it's an important part of our fabric in our community. And the one good thing about what I've seen is it's high quality production. You know, you think of the small communities all over Arkansas, it's a big deal that they can turn on the TV or DVR or whatever and know they're going to get a quality product. And so I think it just expands the focus of what PBS is doing. You know, Arkansas PBS is doing a great job, and I think it's part of education.
Let me take you for a ride on the baseline.
Let's go! Support the high school sports you love. Give $10 to Arkansas PBS today by texting SPORTS to 501-491-0444.
Bottom of the 4th. Michaela Guest leads it off for the Bulldogs. She's pitched well, and her team's helped her out a little bit as well with a 5-1 lead. Guest trying to get things started with an 0-1 count, fouls it back, 0-2. So McCorkle gets ahead in the count with an 0-2 pitch, and Guest will try to battle as the 5, 6, and 7 hitters batting in this inning. Guest, Washam, and Altum. Walker will bat if anybody reaches.
We've talked about Gist's performance in the circle, but I tell you what, you can't take anything from the plate. She's batting .471 for Tuckerman. She has 3 home runs. I tell you what a great year for this team offensively.
And you know, the biggest thing that I would say about this Tuckerman team that's been so impressive, Gist in the circle has been lights out, but just the way their approach at the plate, they have made McCorkle work for everything as that one's driven deep to left center field. Real going back, that one hops the wall. Rounding first is Gist, and she'll be in with a stand-up double.
Went too far from getting out of here.
No, it wasn't. It carried well. Eric, the 4th time tonight, all 4 innings, Tuckerman's had a runner at second base.
It seems to be that runner at second base has been there with no outs.
That's right. But as we've alluded to earlier, McCorkle's done a really good job of kind of pitching into and out of trouble.
Well, she had a little hiccup there in the bottom of the 3rd with giving up 3, but the first 2 innings, the base is loaded, and she only gives up 1 run.
So now it brings in the first baseman, Reagan Washam, who is 1 for 2 today. She's grounded out to 5-2, and she's also singled ahead in the count 1-0 after Gist doubled. 1-0 pitch. Outer half with an off speed. That evens the count up.
But they just floated up there. That's pretty brave with this offense of Tuckerman.
1-1, down and in. So 2 balls and a strike. A hitter's count as McCorkle gets the sign. And a good pitch. Outer half evens the count there, 2-2 to Washam. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the first baseman, and she waves and misses McCorkle. It's the strikeout. That's just her 2nd one today.
Well, that's one thing that's very impressive about McCorkle. It doesn't matter where they are on base. She's going to go right at these Tuckerman hitters.
And the first pitch here to Alta misses down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. So Altum's 1 for 2 today. She's flown out to center and also singled in her last at bat. They play her to push as she does so, fouling it down the right field line to even the count at 1-1. I tell you, the center fielder Real, she swung around towards right center a good bit. Even when that pitch was thrown, there's a large gap in left center field. They really think Ultim's going to push the baseball, or pardon me, the softball. Is that one pushed to right center field? Real had it played perfectly. Underneath makes the catch, and that's out number 2. How about it? They've
done their homework.
They sure have.
They've done their homework.
As Real coming in to make the catch. 2 are gone, so McCorkle, after giving up the leadoff double, has got 2 gone, and she can retire Walker. She can get out of the inning without giving up a run. One-0 pitch. Strike to even things up at 1-1. Walker is 2 for 2 today. She's doubled and singled. Trying to do something here, and she loops out with the center field. That's a base hit, and that's going to score a run. Real over in right center to get it, but Tuckerman drives in another run. It is 6-1. Faith McCullough coming in to score after she came in to run. It's 6-1 on the RBI single from Walker, and Tuckerman has nickeled and dimed DPC all afternoon.
Tell you what, Walker 3 for 3 for this Tuckerman squad, and she's batting in the 8 hole. So Coach knew exactly 1 through 9 has definitely been very productive on this Tuckerman team.
As Ansley Dawson, that 9-hole hitter, 2 for 2 today. She's got a great average as that one's taken upstairs to even the count up at 1-1. Again, we mentioned Dawson hitting .426 coming into this. She's upped her average a bit as she swings and misses. Got a good cut, but the off speed had her out in front.
Definitely took a hack at that one.
McCorkle gave up a double to begin the inning as that one's fouled back. She got a strikeout and then a fly out, but a big 2-out single and RBI from Lizzie Walker allowed Tuckerman to add another run. 6 runs this afternoon on 12 base hits. The 1-2 misses just down and away. Good pitch there, but a even better take there from Ansley Dawson.
Dawson don't have any homers this year, but she has quite a few singles.
2-2 pitch, chopped to the left side. Third baseman can't quite corral it. It's going to be off her glove, and that will allow Dawson to reach base. Davis tried to backhand that ball, but might have taken her eyes off of it just a second. It was enough to carry him off her glove for the 3rd error of the afternoon for the Warriors.
Well, again, she saved a run for him earlier there, and
Chopper shortstop. That'll end the inning. 6-5 on the putout there as Powell did a great job. Throws to Davis, and the error does not come back to hurt the Warriors, but they've got some work to do. Only got 9 outs with which to work. They're trailing 6-1 as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships in Arkansas PBS Sports.
Can you see her greatness? When you attend her games, when you cheer her on, or when you participate in any way, you support your community and make it better, and you will see her greatness. Join us as we pledge to increase the visibility of women's sports in our communities. It makes a difference when we all are involved. At Everett Buick GMC, we proudly support our local female athletes and encourage you to do the same. See her greatness.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app.
Can you just slap me a little bit? Slap me, thank you.
I've never put myself under this much pressure.
I'm desperate to win. Nunu has cared for children whose parents have nowhere else to turn.
It's not just a job. This is really our life.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS video app.
Blueberry and the gang are back in July. The summer camp fun airs Fridays at 9:30 a.m. through August the 12th.
As we head to the top of the 5th inning, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Warriors. Mercedes Real, Zoe Constant, and Brindley Brewer, Cameron Argo, will bat if anybody reaches. And Warriors are down by 5 as Gist delivers to Real, and the first one's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. As you mentioned earlier, the beautiful facilities here here in Benton, and great crowd on hand, as you would expect for a state title game. But goodness gracious, just a fun atmosphere. The wind's been blowing out, 84 degrees at first pitch. It's just a beautiful day. 1-0's fouled straight back, 1-1 the count.
You can definitely tell who's cheering for what team, because we got Tuckerman t-shirts on this side, we got EPC t-shirts on that side. So they definitely came out today to support their teams, and you really got to love that.
Top of the fifth, 6-1. Tuckerman leads as the 1-1. This is down and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. The home plate umpire in this one's Justin Hudspeth. Gene Boser's over at first, and Gordon Campbell is the third base umpire. They have had a lot of action today, some close calls. They've done a great job.
They've done a wonderful job.
2-1 to Reel. Chopped off her foot. That'll even the count now at 2-2 after the foul ball.
Well, Reel's been active out there in the outfield. She's had a few balls hit right to her, and a while ago they did a great job of playing that ball to right center, and she's I'm sure she'd like to hit the base for EPC.
With a 2-2 count, she'll wait on Guest. That one's up and away, and now she works a full count. It's 3-2. Only the second full count that Guest has had to throw into. The last one was against McCorkle in the first inning. She ended up getting her to ground out.
And that was about 22 fouls, too, McCorkle had during that bat.
Oh, my goodness. That was a great at-bat. Great discipline in which the pitcher, Guest won. As the payoff pitch misses upstairs, so a leadoff walk.
I tell you what, that's pretty impressive. Just like last inning, both leadoff batters for EPC have got on first base, so it'll be interesting to see how we move her around. Last time the bunt came into play, the last inning for EPC. So
as Constant stands in, she chopped out to short her first time up. 0 for 1 today, as that one is an off-speed pitch that misses down and away. And here's the difference. Guest in last inning, after giving up a couple of those bunt singles, she fell behind some hitters. That's a key here for EPC to try to get back into this. They're down by 5. A leadoff walk certainly helps, and it's a 1-0 count now to Constant. As that one misses outside, 2-0. Anybody will tell you this. You get into hitters' counts, good things happen.
Well, that, and right now it's a CPC bunch is being patient with the pitcher like Guest.
That's a great point. Earlier they were swinging a lot of early pitches, getting 1 pitch outs, as that one's waved at and missed. 2-1.
Because they were expecting her to throw a strike.
2 balls, 1 strike. Runner at first, Reel. She walked to begin the inning. Bunting here is Constant out in front of the plate. The catcher, only play is at first. And they will retire Constant. The sacrifice allows Reel to move up. Sacrifice bunt. And now the 8 and 9 hitters will have an opportunity to try to drive in that runner at second base.
Great job by catcher there, Gracie Smith, as she bounced out of the box and made a good catch and just a great throw over to first base to get the out.
You know, we've seen a lot of really close plays, but almost every throw we've seen has been really, really good from both of these defenses, as that one misses upstairs, 1-0. And here's the deal. In a play like that as a catcher, you have to throw that good and on the money. It's got to be a good, strong throw. And if you don't, you might pull her off the bag and she's safe. I mean, Smith did a great job. And we've seen some plays from the shortstops for both sides here early, as that one is a called strike at the letters, 1-1. And then we've also seen some defensive plays in the outfield. One to speak of, Mercedes Reel, in a diving play at a big moment on a ball that was absolutely blistered right back at her.
Great catch.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now it's 1-2 to Brewer. Argo, the 9-hole hitter, waits on deck. Struck out her first time up, as did Brewer, who's at the plate right now. Got to protect. The 1-2. Up and in. Guess tried to get her to chase and climb the ladder, but she wouldn't do it.
2 strikes. That's a great eye there by Brewer.
Brindley Brewer, the catcher for this Warrior softball team, as she steps out again. Tuckerman's on a 16-game winning streak. EPC's on an 11-game winning streak. Only one of these teams is going to be able to walk out of here and end their season with a win. As that one's fouled off to the right side. We'll do it again. As we mentioned earlier, Tuckerman won a year ago. They're trying to win back-to-back state titles. EPC playing in their first ever state final game in program history. They got work to do, though, if they're going to come back and win. Tuckerman trying to won it back-to-back years as they lead 6-1. That one misses down and away. Now a full count.
Another good thing that EPC has to build on here a little bit is they've got a run on the board where in the last 5 games they've had shutouts. Tuckerman Gist has had a shutout for them, so they got to feel good about getting a runner in scoring position and have one cross the plate.
As that one misses upstairs, Brewer with an excellent at-bat works the walk against Gist, and you're right, because Tuckerman through the state tournament had given it a run like you said, and then this is their first run they've given up here in the state tournament. Is we'll have a mound visit by Tuckerman head coach Matt Dillon. Let out and talked to McKaylee Gist. One out here in the top of the 5th inning. Runners at first and second base for the Warriors. As really early on, it was kind of all Tuckerman. The pitching from Gist. She retired all 9 batters that she faced, the first 9, pardon me, and then the offense was just rolling. They've scored in all 4 innings. But here's the deal. McCorkle's pitching for EPC. She's kept it close. This game could be a lot worse.
Oh, exactly. I mean, they've had runners the first 2 or 3 innings. It just seems like they were full of Tuckerman base runners. But McCorkle's came out. She's thrown a good game, especially when they had runners in scoring position. And their defense has played pretty good behind her.
So runners at first and second base as Cameron Argo stands in. Batting from the right side. Squares to bunt. Pulls it back, and that one misses outside. That was a good job by the catcher to keep that one from getting around.
Sure was. And you know, Argo batting in the 9th hole, you think she's probably going to put one down here to move these runners around to get that top of the lineup back.
As that one's bunted foul to the right side. You called it. She was trying to, you know, a lot of times it's you obviously want to move the runners up, but you're even thinking, hey, maybe I can beat this out for a hit as well.
Exactly.
1 ball, 1 strike. The inning began with a walk to Reel. Constant bunted her up. Brewer walked. As Argo tries to bunt, went down to try to get that one. And she's in the hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So now it'll be interesting to see if they try to bunt still with Argo.
Well, I don't know his signs, but it looked like a swing away to me down here with Coach Powell. So.
Well, this one is for all the marbles, so there's no room for error. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Argo got the green light to swing, came up empty, and Gist with a great pitch when she needed to. Gets the second out of the inning. Hey, Tuckerman's looked really good. Gist has done a great job inside the circle. As we head back to the top of the order now. And Taryn Powell, the shortstop.
She reached on a bunt a while ago, a perfect bunt.
Seemed to be taking there and does so with the fastball strike on the outer half, 0-1. Powell's only seen 5 pitches today. She popped up to first on a 1-1 pitch and singled with a 1-1 count. 0-1, tapped foul right side, and now Gist has got another 0-2 count. This is where Gist is at her best.
I don't know if she's just fighting that one off or trying to slap it or what, but she did get a bat on it.
Gist already today has 4 strikeouts. Trying to make it 5 right here and end the EPC threat, but Taryn Powell trying to battle. 0-2, looped, left field, that could be trouble. The runner trying to go to third ran into the shortstop. That's real, they'll wave home. That's going to be a double into the gap from Powell. How about the 0-2 hitting there, driving it to left center, and APC's on the board again.
You got to love that in your leadoff hitter. You know, she comes up and bunts one the last inning, and right there she just stayed in there, fought the pitches off, and ends up finding a gap, puts it in there, and had a little collision there. It said at shortstop, but runner went ahead and got in.
That's the first base hit of the inning, but hey, it's 6-2. Now you look up as Kelly Lucas stands in. She's 1 for 2 today. A base hit here could very likely, if it's hit to the outfield, could score 2. As the right-hander waits on the left-handed pitcher, Gist. That one misses upstairs, 1-0. Now Gist, she grounded out to second on 1 pitch and singled on 1 pitch. So that's just the 3rd pitch she's seen today.
Exactly.
Boy, we got a good one here in Central Arkansas. 1-0. Called strike. They try to throw over to third. Behind the runner.
That's a brave throw right there. with 2 outs, if that ball gets by the third baseman, you know, that gets
at least 1.
Exactly.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 gone. Top of the 5th inning, as the Warriors have already driven in a run with a big double from Taryn Powell. The 1-1 pitch, knee-high strike, and now it's 1-2.
It's kind of hard to say they're going to make Gist throw strikes because we know she can. So seems like they'll be swinging away.
Gonna protect. Gist trying to get out of the inning. The 1-2. Good take there from Lucas, as that one sailed outside of the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Lucas is batting .412 for EPC.
As Gist delivers. That one's hit softly back to the pitcher. She gloves it and throws on the money to end the inning. But EPC had to run on a base hit. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 6-2 Tuckerman leads it. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
Since 1976, McCormick Equipment Rental and Sales has been equipping Arkansans for the tough jobs, construction equipment and rentals, service and sales, and a proud underwriter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
For a copy of any of the state championship games, go to mnmproductions.net to place your order.
As we head here to the bottom of the 5th inning, Tuckerman's up 6-2 in this one, and they're trying to add to it in the home half of the 5th inning. As McCorkle out for her 5th inning of work. She's given up 6 runs on 12 hits. And first pitch popped up left side. Down the third base line and foul ground. The left fielder coming over makes the catch. Argo retires.
Can't see those, but I'll tell you what, tonight this afternoon, there's been 2 great catches out of play over there.
We just have to trust that they were incredible catches.
Exactly, I can't see, so we're going to call them great catches.
As it brings in Gracie Smith, the catcher, takes the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. As that one's a good pitch out her half to even the count at 1-1. McCorkle has pitched in every game this year for EPC, missing downstairs 2-1 the count. Hitters count to Smith. She's 32-2 on the year, and she's got incredible numbers, 323 strikeouts. As that one ripped past the shortstop towards the gap in left center field. Taking a wide turn at first is Smith, but she'll hold up there with a 1-out single.
See what Smith was setting back on that when she was ready for that pitch. She actually got a good cut on that one.
And it brings in cleanup hitter Nicholson, as they're going to go ahead and bring in a runner for Smith over at first base. Looks like Julie Glasgow. So Glasgow comes in to run over at first base, and the cleanup hitter Nicholson stands in and takes the first one for a strike.
Talking about situations, McCorkle's no stranger to this situation. She's had runners on. Seems like every inning, and she just gets better when they get in.
One and one count to Nicholson, who is 1 for 3 today. Single drove in the game's first run. As that one's popped up on the infield. The second baseman Lucas is over. And there's out number 2. So McCorkle got a chance to put up her first 0 on the board in the scores column against Tuckerman. Bulldogs have scored in all 4 innings. They got a run in the first, 1 in the second, 3 runs in the third inning, and 1 last inning in the fourth as McKaylee Gist, standing in, takes the first pitch outside for a ball.
And Gist got a big double for him there, and see what she we talk about her in the circle, but she's done well at the plate also for Tuckerman this year.
Got a hitter's count though at 2-0 now against McCorkle. That one's hit to second sharply. Nice play. Lucas throws wide of first. That'll be an error. E4 as that one gets away from the first baseman, and now the inning continues with the runners at the corners.
One of those plays that Coach Powell talked about. We need to get the easy outs, and that one she did a great job. She kind of broke to second base and did a wonderful job of getting back and getting in front of the ball, but the throw got away from her a little bit.
As Faith McCullough will come in to run over at first base for Gist. And it brings in the first baseman, Reagan Washam. Washam's 1 for 3 today. Singled and struck out. Now it's hit to third, should end the inning. 5-3 is the throw for the third baseman. Davis ends the inning. As no runs come on the board. 1 hit, 1 error, 2 runners left through 5 here in Benton in the 2A state softball finals. Tuckerman leads at 6-2, and we'll be right back.
Okay, Frisbee, let's remember, it's 1 bark for true and no barks for false. Arkansas PBS is Arkansas's largest classroom. Bark! Frisbee didn't eat my slippers. Oh, Frisbee, how could you?
No, I'm sorry, Miss House. I was gonna tell you, but it slipped my mind.
Please don't let it slip your mind and donate to Arkansas PBS today.
Bark!
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks. By remembering that you come first. By empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service. Because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Learn more about the issues that impact our state with our long-running public affairs program, Arkansas Week. Fridays at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. right here on Arkansas PBS.
As we welcome you back to Central Arkansas here on the campus of Benton High School, top of the 6th. It's getting late in this one. Tuckerman's up 6-2, and they are 6 outs away from claiming back-to-back state titles as Gist delivers to the 3-hole hitter. Keegan McCorkle in the first pitch is foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, strike 1.
We talked about the battle these two had the first inning with Gist pitching and McCorkle at the plate. I think this will be about the same kind of battle here in the top of the 6th for EPC.
0-1, fouled back to the screen. Now it's 0-2. East Poinsett County, Eric, they have only given up, the most they've given up all year in a single game was to Riverside in 4 runs. They've given up 6 today, and obviously you knew it was going to be tough. Both sides are really, really good. Having to play flawless softball, but 4 errors has not helped the Warriors as that one's fouled off again. But I'll tell you what has helped is McCorkle at the plate. She has battled almost every time. A lot of foul balls. She just battles at the plate.
She has done a good job of making Gist pick a spot.
Gist again, the 0-2. Chopped left side towards the hole. Nice play to the third baseman, Dawson, and she throws McCorkle out at first. That was a dandy play there. Ranging to her left, Ansley Dawson threw a dart to first base, 5-3. The first batter's retired.
Well, I got to take up a little bit for that first baseman, Washam. She did a good job of keeping her foot on the bag and stretching out there to get that first out for Tuckerman.
And it brings in the cleanup hitter, Natalie Dunman. Dunman has an RBI today. One of 2 RBIs for EPC, and that one ripped through the hole at short and into left field. Worthington's over to get it. She's the left fielder, not batting today for Tuckerman. Throws it in.
Two balls right off the bat hit pretty hard from this EPC squad, and that one right there had a little air under it. So good job of the EPC squad coming out here and not folding.
6-2 with one out here in the top of the 6th inning. As Davis stands in, J.C. Davis takes that one down and away. 1-0. The count to the Warriors' third baseman. Dunman. They try to throw behind her at first base. She got a big jump there. Close play, but calls for time, and graded by the first base umpire.
With us 2 times in the last 2 innings that this catcher from Tuckerman has threw some rockets. One to third base, and that one right there to first base put her right on a dime.
Davis has popped up to the right side of the infield twice. Does so again there down the right field line, foul. Now it's 2-1. Tuckerman scored in all of the first 4 innings, but weren't able to score in the bottom of the 5th. EPC scored 1 run in each of the 4th and 5th innings. Trying to add one here. Is that one way that I missed there from Davis, and it's 2-2.
We talked about that offense of Tuckerman's, and we've talked about what McCorkle's given up, and you know, they only given up 4 runs, like you said. But I tell you what, I bet they've not faced an offense like his Tuckerman squad.
His Tuckerman team, they averaged 10 runs a game, 10.06 to be exact. 2-2, hit off the end of the bat to the pitcher. Gist with a nice backhand. Only plays at first base, but 2 are gone, and Gist with a 4-run cushion. Really at this point just trying to fill up the zone and not put people on base via the walk.
Here's Real that was on second earlier in the ball game, and was one of the first base runners for EPC.
That's exactly right. That's from the right side. Takes that one high from Gist. It is 1-0. The count to the Warriors center fielder. Real struck out, looking her first at bat, but worked a great full count walk last time up with 2 outs. Really needs to find a way on base as that one misses outside. 2-0.
She had a good eye on that one. That looked like I might have painted the corner a little bit.
2 balls, no strikes. But I tell you, Michaela Gist has been lights out in the circle for the Bulldogs. Only giving up 4 hits as that one swung on and missed from Real. 2-1. It just feels like a lot of these hitters are just trying to guess against Gist. A lot of late swings.
Hard to guess against a pitcher like this.
It sure is. And McCorkle on the other side has done a really good job filling up the zone. Worked herself into trouble and out of trouble a lot. Fouled again at the plate. 2-2.
Good job of these EPC batters. You know, we've talked about how many of them have battled. They've all battled on both sides when it's come to making these pitchers really dial in and throw some pitches. Nobody's had an easy batter yet, by no means.
Not at all. 13 hits for Tuckerman, 4 for EPC. 2-2 to Real. Fouled again, and to your point, goodness, battling at the plate is Mercedes Real. Want to mention again that catch she made out in center field, diving in. My goodness.
And like you said, it wasn't a floater. It had a little heat behind it.
Michaela Gist with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Delivers. That's a great pitch, but missed a little outside and low. I tell you, great take from Real. That was awful close.
With 2 strikes and 2 outs, I guess that wasn't her pitch, and she didn't think it was going to be a strike, so good job there by Real.
Home umpire Justin Hudspeth has kept the zone the same. A great zone it has been all game long. Did not budge. Payoff. Fouled again back. And we'll do it once more with a runner in scoring position. If you're the Warriors here, you're down by 4 with only 4 outs with which to work. Really need to get base runners and need some runs. Payoff pitch again to Real. Here it comes. Outside, and a great take from Real. She works the count and gets the walk.
It's two outstanding bats by Real. I mean, really making Gist come in and throw some strikes at her. She's had her with 2 strikes at both at bats, and Real's done a great job of working the pitcher.
As Zoe Constant will come in to bat here. Constant on the year, she's hitting .333. She has no home runs, but 16 RBIs, 5 doubles. Boy, would love to get a hit here.
Well, being a senior, too, she's one senior on this EPC squad.
Is that one? Is a good pitch from Gist. Right down the middle, strike 1. Gist is 0 for 1 today. She's grounded out to short. She's also bunted to runner up with the sacrifice. 0-1 is popped foul right field line, out of play. 0-2.
Well, JB, these are 2 teams that could possibly see back next year with the amount of underclassmen they've got. You know, EPC here with 1 senior that's batting, and Tuckerman only with 2 seniors. So some great softball for these towns in the next few years.
As the 0-2 is a called strike 3. A late call from the home plate umpire, but that will end the inning, and Gist gets out of it with no runs given up. We played 5 1/2. 6-2, Tuckerman leads it as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
We never gonna stop. We never gonna stop.
Join Ben Dickey on The Growing Season, a new monthly agricultural podcast from Arkansas PBS that will follow the stories of 6 Arkansas farmers as they work through a year on their land, available wherever you listen. As we head here to the bottom of the 6th inning, McCorkle trying to work through this as our team trailing 6-2. As Altum at the plate takes that one away, and it's 2 balls, no strikes.
Again, you've talked about Altum batting in the 9-hole, and she's batting 402 right now. I'm sorry, 364 for the for Tuckerman.
As that was a called strike there from Altum. And I tell you, just the hitting all the way around from Tuckerman has been impressive as that one's fouled back.
Well, and you know, it's EPC saying when you got a team like this, it's as offensively sound as what Tuckerman is. You got to make the easy plays, and I think if we go back to it, they'd like to have some of these defensive plays mishaps back. This EPC squad would.
The 2-2. Missing inside, and I tell you, sometimes it's it's hard to tell what the call is from the home plate umpire. He takes his time. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
He makes sure he makes the right call, but sometimes it is hard to call it. Payoff, chop to the left side. Powell's there. Throw to first in time, and the leadoff batter's retired for McCorkle and the Warriors. 6-3 on that put out, and it brings in the 8-hole hitter, Lizzie Walker. Walker is 3 for 3 today. She also has an RBI. EPC has just not found a way to get her out as that one's fouled back.
And that's about the same way they have been with all these Tuckerman hitters. Every one of them have found a way to put the bat on the ball and just make something happen and make this EPC squad play some defense.
Well, they've got 13 hits, but they've also left 12 runners on.
That's amazing.
Through 5 in the 3rd innings. 0-1. Hit hard to first base, off the glove of the first baseman, Constant, but she's able to recover, corrals it, and steps on the bag. Quickly, 2 are gone, as that one's a 3 unassisted. The 9-hole hitter, Ansley Dawson, will come to bat now as we look here. Boy, that one was hit hard, but
what? Good job there by that first baseman, Zoe the senior, staying in front of it and just taking one right off the breadbasket.
First pitch there to Dawson's a called strike, 0-1. Tell you, the story of this one has been the early scoring for Tuckerman. McCorkle's kind of settled in here, done a really good job, but Tuckerman's got 6 runs, the most runs that EPC's given up all year long.
Well, in that 3rd inning with those 3 runs kind of put a little damper on there. A couple of those were unearned runs. You know, when you go back and you look at this, just 2 or 3 plays away from being real close right here going into the final stretch.
As the off speed catches the outer half, 2-2. Great pitch there from McCorkle, trying to work her first 1-2-3 inning. It'll be much needed. 2-2, foul to the plate. Dawson got enough to stay alive. And Dawson's 2 for 3 today, singled twice and also reached on an error.
It seems like McCorkle just she's got a lot of fire in her, JB. I mean, she doesn't matter what the score is or what's going on, she's going to come at you, and just like she did right there with that strikeout. Great pitch by McCorkle. Good job, as you said, by the EPC bunch to get 3 up and 3 down.
But it's 6-2 as we head to the top of the 7th. Tuckerman trying to win back-to-back state titles. EPC trying to stay around and play some more. They're going to need at least 4. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For almost 4 decades, Arkansas Week's been keeping you informed of the news and issues that matter most, featuring the newsmakers, the experts, the analysts, the journalists, the thought leaders who shape life and news and opinion in Arkansas. So join us as we continue to provide in-depth conversation, in-depth coverage from our new, modern, state-of-the-art studio home, where we'll cover the news as never before. So stay connected to the pulse of Arkansas with Arkansas Week.
I tell people all the time that vaccines, in my opinion, are the miracle of modern medicine. There have been devastating diseases that have been virtually eradicated because of vaccines. You know, polio, smallpox, things like that. This one's the same way. It's a great thing. It prevents, in most cases, you from getting COVID, and even if you get it, your chances of being really sick are much, much less. Much less likelihood to go to the hospital. Much less likelihood that you die. So I think it's a great thing, great thing.
As we head to the top of the 7th inning, 3 outs to go as we get you set after this one. Conway and Bentonville in the 6A baseball finals. That's at 4 p.m. here on PBS. Be sure to stick around and watch that one, as this one's almost over. Top of the 7th. EPC trying to stay alive here in their first ever appearance here at the state finals against Tuckerman. Tuckerman trying to win back-to-back state titles, and they are 3 outs away from doing so.
EPC's got the 8-9-1 and up.
The first pitch to Brewer. She's upstairs, ball 1. So 1-0 to Brenly Brewer, the catcher, trying to keep this awesome season going, as that was a called strike in her half, 1-1. Boy, both of these teams have just shown their dominance throughout the year. There's a reason both these teams deserve to be here. It has been a great ball game, as that one's fouled off right side to Brewer. Now it's 1-2.
Again, like was said, with the youth that they have on both of these programs, don't be surprised if it's not a same matchup next year.
No kidding. But Brewer at this point going to have to protect McKaylee Gist, trying to strike her out. The 1-2 just inside. That was a great pitch there from Gist. Brewer with a good take, evens the count at 2-2.
Well, both teams just have dominant pitching, and again with this with this Tuckerman squad, the way they battle at the plate, it's been a great game.
The 2-2, chopped foul right side. We'll do it again. And I think you look here, this one obviously the 3 outs still left. EPC needs base runners any way they can get them.
Exactly.
2-2, Michaela Gist. She has been very, very good today. That one fouled off again, but how about Brindley Brewer? She's not wanting to go home.
Battling.
Fouls that one right side. Man, this has been a great ball game. 6-2 Tuckerman. They scored in the first 4 innings. They weren't able to score in the 5th and 6th. EPC scored in the 4th and 5th. But here in the 7th, down 6-2 as that one's chopped foul outside third. Boy, Brewer is battling at the plate.
Not going down easy, that's for sure.
Michaela Gist, as the Tuckerman faithful begin to clap. 2-2, chop foul to the right side again, and boy.
I mean, inside, outside, Brewer is hanging in there. She is definitely, she's not going away without a fight.
That is for certain. Michaela Gist has pitched very well. With the 2-2 again. Up and in. Wow, how about it from Brewer?
Yeah, you take a pitch like that in battle like she has been, then take a pitch, a little speed by it, and kind of got a little inside on the batter.
Well, I've just been impressed with both sides at the plate battling. Payoff. Fouled off her foot, left side again. We have got a duel going on here as the pitcher, Michaela Gist, and the batter, Brindley Brewer. Who's going to win this one? 3 balls, 2 strikes. Who's going to win this battle, I should say? Payoff again. Down and away, and Brewer will be awarded first base. The leadoff hitter aboard with a walk.
We don't say that much about your 8-hole hitter and your pitcher. You don't say what about him, but that 8-hole hitter, Brewer came in there right there, and she was bound and determined to get to first base, and a great job of fighting some pitches off and taking ball 4. And you know, EPC said that, hey, to win this ball game, we got to get that first runner on board, and that's what they did.
Gist only has 4 walks today, but all 4 of them have come on payoff pitches, as that one is chopped to the right side from Argo. The second baseman sewed an underhand flips to first, and that is the first out of the 7th inning. EPC only got 2 outs with which to work, and Tuckerman 2 outs away from back-to-back state titles.
Exactly right, and a good job there by Soden to just getting the out, because the runner on second really doesn't mean anything. So the only way to get to 3 is to get with that first one, and that's what they did.
So brings in top of the order in Taryn Powell. 2 for 3 today, singled, and also drove in a run with a double. Takes the first pitch, a strike on the outer half, 0-1.
It's called a great game, but sometimes I try to get ahead of him a little bit, because Gist is, she's in a zone right now.
0-1, check swing, but a hit by pitch, and that will allow Powell to reach. There'll be runners at first and second base now with 1 gone. And Kelly Lucas, the second baseman, will bat 1 for 3 today.
Not for sure if she's trying to get out of the way of that one or not, but it looked like the bat came down like she might be trying to bunt the ball. But again, they threw her inside there, and she was trying to do all she could to get away from that pitch.
With 2 runners aboard, and the batter Lucas, EPC needs 1 base runner to bring the tying run to the plate, as that was a called strike, 0-1. And you got McCorkle and Dunham waiting on deck.
I was fixing to say the two that you want to be batting in this situation are waiting there in the wings.
As the 0-1 misses outside to even the count at 1-1.
Unless something just crazy happens, we'll see McCorkle.
The 1-1. That one, hitter on the helmet, and the bases are loaded, and EPC, it will bring the tying run to the plate.
Wow, and the tying run in the name of McCorkle. And I tell you what, and we know how bad these two battled in that first inning. She did a great job of hanging in there and making Gist throw strikes. And I think this is very an uncharacteristic spot for Gist to be in, to hit those 2 batters like that back-to-back.
And that's probably going to be it for Gist, and indeed it is. We'll have a pitching change.
I don't know who's coming in, but I know we talked about it a little earlier. The shortstop Nicholson has done a good job for Tuckerman, pitching some this year.
And it comes at a big time. We'll hit a break. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships in Arkansas, PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Since 1976, McCormick Equipment Rental and Sales has been equipping Arkansans for the tough jobs, construction equipment and rentals, service and sales, and a proud underwriter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
Top of the 7th, 1 gone, bases loaded, and a tying run will come to the plate in the form of Keegan McCorkle, the new pitcher for Tuckerman's Kenzie Soden, the second baseman. She's pitched 24 to 3rd innings. And she has pitched very well, only giving up 21 hits, 18 runs, only 9 earned, 6 walks, 30 strikeouts. She's got a 2.58 ERA. And the first pitch from Soden misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes to McCorkle. The second baseman coming in, Anna Fortenberry, will come in defensively for the Bulldogs. 1-0 pitch to Soden. Upstairs, 2-0. Hitters count. McCorkle, she has the most home runs on this EPC lineup with 9 and 40 RBIs as well.
You said hitters count. That's exactly what I was thinking about McCorkle. She can pull the trigger here and really tie this game up.
1 swing of the bat would tie things up at 6. The 2-0, swing and a miss.
She was on it. She was looking for it.
That was a big pitch there from Soden. Now it's 2-1.
Well, that's the freebie. Now you just want to put something in the green to get a run in here.
Still a hitter's count with Dunman waiting on deck. 2-1, fouled back. Now it's 2-2.
Ooh, it looks like they're playing McCorkle straight away, so got a little bit of gap there in left center.
Bases full of Warriors in the top of the 7th with 1 gone. A double play within it. A base hit or home run. Keep going. That one's popped up. Foul. Just gets out of the reach of the catcher and the first baseman. Chasing. Boy, another 2-2 count upcoming.
Yeah.
This is a nail biter, Eric.
It's a bad nail biter, and you got two of the big sticks here for EPC coming up. One that's at the plate right now, and then you got one waiting there in the circle.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Soden again. Swing and a miss. Got a big strikeout. McCorkle waves and misses. And Tuckerman's an out away from back-to-back state titles.
That's something that Gist couldn't get done. She couldn't strike McCorkle out, and Soden comes in and does a great job of getting the #1 hitter there for EPC to strike out.
And it brings in Natalie Dunman. The last hope for the Warriors. Soden retired the first out of her appearance. 1 more to go to claim a title. That one's up and away.
Dunman, she has 5 home runs this year for EPC.
She leads their team with 50 RBIs as well.
She'd love to pick up a few right here to add to them totals.
1 ball and no strikes. Soden again. Got the sign. And that one misses a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes to the cleanup hitter for the Warriors.
I'm not for sure, but I'm looking down there on Dunham's hands. I think those are work gloves, JB, she's got on. So she's coming to the bat ready to work.
She's not playing around. The 2-0, climbed the ladder, swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. Mackenzie Soden, she walked it off last year. 4-3 win over Mansfield. She's in the circle now, and she is trying to close it out for back-to-back state titles for her Tuckerman Bulldogs. 2-1 to Dunham. Swing and a miss again. Now it's 2-2.
I tell you what, you're talking about ice water in some veins. Last year she comes in, gets the 1-2-3 in the 7th, and gets the walk-off single to end the ball game and get a state championship for Tuckerman. And right now they put her in the circle. And man, I tell you what, right now this crowd's getting crazy.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Natalie Dunman trying to keep EPC alive. Trying to either work a walk, a base hit, drive something. Tuckerman trying to strike her out and win for the second time in as many years. The 2-2 fouled straight back. Wow. Again, as we've seen all day long, EPC battling.
I was fixing to say that they're not going down without swinging, that's for sure.
2 balls and 2 strikes once again. Boy, this one coming down to the wire as we imagined it would. The 2-2 once more. That one's low, and so we'll have a full count with 2 gone here in the top of the 7th.
Well, you know what's happening right here, runners. They're taking off, and so a hit here will get at least 2 in, I would believe.
Tuckerman trying to end it with 1 pitch. EPC trying to keep their season alive. The payoff pitch, swinging a pop-up. That might do it. The third baseman, Dawson, shortstop Nicholson makes the catch, and Tuckerman has won back-to-back state titles. Gist in the circle to start, pitched brilliantly, and Soden comes out of the pen and retires the 2 toughest hitters in the EPC lineup to claim back-to-back state championships for the Tuckerman Bulldogs. What a game.
Well, and a great job by EPC of battling and not letting Tuckerman just have it real easy. They did a heck of a job both on the offensive side and defensive side, so hats off to EPC.
What a finish in this one. Tuckerman wins it 6-2 for their second state title in as many years. Back-to-back state champs as they come down here in Central Arkansas, and they will leave winners. But hey, if you're EPC, no reason to hang your head. Had a great season, played great. Tuckerman was just a better team today.
Well, you know, definitely, and I'm sure there's a couple plays they would love to have back and get a shot at stabbing some of those and stopping and keeping the ball in front of them.
6-2, Tuckerman is your Centennial Bank 2022 2A state champions. We're going to hit a break. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Baseball and Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Stay connected to your public media network. Text ARPBS to 313131 to receive the latest updates. Message and data rates may apply.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Welcome back to Central Arkansas on the campus of Benton High School in the wake of a 6-2 Tuckerman Bulldog state championship victory over East Poinsett County as they are being awarded the trophy right out there outside of home plate. I tell you, I'm JB Brazil, alongside me Eric King. What a game it was today. Both teams put it all on the line, gave it everything they had, but Tuckerman was able to come out with a win today. Their offense was big, and Gist in the circle played a huge part in the victory.
Well, you got to like what Coach said earlier, 1 through 9, that they've contributed a lot this year, and boy, they did the same right here. How many runners did they leave on base? Like 12 runners, I think they ended up leaving on base. So it's exciting to see a game like this to kick off the state tournament here with softball. But I'll tell you what, EPC and Tuckerman are 2 teams, JB, that we're liable to see again next year.
Both of these teams not graduating many seniors, only one on East Poinsett County side, and
2.
2 for Tuckerman. But Tuckerman getting the pictures out in front of home plate, in between home plate and the circle. And Tuckerman is your 2A 2022 state softball champions. They win for back-to-back seasons. It's been a fun afternoon of softball. For my partner, Eric King, I'm JB Brazil saying so long here from Benton. You've been watching the Centennial Bank 2A 2022 state softball final on Arkansas PBS Sports. So long.